on that.
All right, sure. I will guide you. The Agbaja dance, do you know how to dance it?
We dance in my side of the Volta region. We do not dance Agbaja. We dance a couple of them. We have Api. Do you know Api? Then we have Bobobo. I believe you know Bobobo.
So, honorable nominee, we are here to learn about our country. Kindly demonstrate the Akpi dance a bit, just for a second.
Honorable nominee, the question is overruled. You are not going to demonstrate.
Chairman, if you decide to be whimsical and capricious, it will not advance the work of this committee. Apart from the constitutional issues involved, it is also about our culture. We've had nominees speaking their dialect here, and I do not think that if you start by is overruled. The man is talking about a dance that we all don't know until today. If anybody had asked me in the Volta region, as part of our culture, what are the dances, I would have said Agbaja and Bobobo. Today, he is enlightening me and others, and I'm saying that he should demonstrate it just in some 30 seconds, and you saying that, you know, you are disallowing the question.
Leader, I take offense from the fact that you are saying I'm being whimsical and capricious. So I will urge upon you to withdraw those words you use on me.
Chairman, I will not
stand by overruling the question.
I will not
you
withdraw.
Are not going to
you were whimsical.
Any dance.
You were whimsical and capricious in the way you overruled my question. I will not withdraw.
You would not demonstrate any dance. This is not a demonstration forum. This is appointment committee. So I insist.
Starr 103.5
the word that I'm being whimsical and capricious.
Chairman, I will not withdraw. I'm sorry. I will not withdraw. You rudely overruled me. I will not withdraw.
I would again ask that you withdraw the word rudely.
Chairman, one more time, I will not withdraw. I'm sorry.
Will you withdraw?
Chairman, I'm sorry, I will not withdraw.
Well, to demonstrate to you that I am the chairman for this particular vetting committee, that may be your last question. I will proceed. I will want to place on record a very fair and just person. Honorable Jerry Ahmed was to ask 3 questions, and indeed he has asked the 3 questions. All members, I take a great exception to the minority leader saying I am whimsical, capricious, and I rudely interrupted. As a chairman of the committee, I'm entitled to overrule a question. When you want to convert the appointment committee, and for that matter, the vetting room into a dancing floor, I think the just thing for me to do is overrule that particular question. In Parliament, anytime unparliamentary language is used, by our rules, you will be requested to withdraw and sometimes apologize. When you refuse to do so, he is even lucky that I have not even cited him for contempt.
Those are excerpts of what transpired in Parliament yesterday, when the minority leader and the ranking member on the appointment committee asked the nominee to dance, and the chairman of the committee overruled the question And it was evident to everybody that the chairman did not do it in a rude manner, neither was it whimsical nor capricious. However, the minority leader chose to describe it that way, and in a very, very, very disrespectful manner as well. Dismissed the calls for a withdrawal from the chairman of the committee. I've seen some people, trying to make excuses for the minority leader and claim that, it was peaceful when he was not around, and he's come back with his shouting, and he doesn't have, he doesn't carry weight, sort of. When the real problem in the room yesterday, in fact, was not the chairman. And, I have had cause to complain about the chairman and how he exercises authority among others, and how seemingly he handed over his authority to the minority leader. In the beginning of the sittings, he did not stamp his authority, and that's why I think that the minority leader and other members do take him for a ride on some occasions. But yesterday, I really struggled to understand how some people would like to blame the chairman over what happened yesterday. If anybody is to be called out, it is the minority leader, because his actions sincerely were very uncalled for, very disrespectful, and I really shudder to think if under the previous appointment committee a ranking member would dare say, I would not withdraw. I don't know if I've seen that, I've experienced that before yet. And the chairman says he's lucky he did not cite him for contempt. I would have absolutely loved it, that he didn't say he is lucky, that he will say that I am citing him for contempt. Because sincerely, things have got to stop at a certain point. In the name of some people, if I say some people, then it means I'm dancing around the issue. I've seen, for instance, the boss of Imani, Franklin Kujo, go on Facebook talking about it and saying that, the vetting would have been boring without opinion marking. Yes, everybody likes excitement, but it's supposed to be within a certain, boundaries. You do not take it to a certain level. Excitement does not mean disrespect. Excitement does not mean to be. He said the chairman was rude. In fact, he was the rude one. He was really the rude one. But hey, I'm not a member of parliament, so I don't know much. Or I do not know. Ibrahim, good morning. How are you?
Good morning. I'm good now. Hope you're good too.
I am well. Thank you for asking.
Yes. Once again, the Appointment Committee and the sittings have dominated the headlines for also good reasons. I think that yes, there are people who think this was supposed to be quite something light. Right, and I've maintained that if you follow the Appointments Committee sittings over the years, you realize that there are many of questions that deep down your heart you flag them as irrelevant. Come on, this is needless. I remember when asking somebody to recite the national pledge, the person couldn't, and those were the headlines, right? Yes, but
reciting the national pledge and asking someone to demonstrate a dance. And you see, if the chairman had said, no, I'm overruling the question with his tone, he says, no.
The gentleman said no.
I'm overruling the question.
No, I'm coming there. I think the nominee had answered and said he was not going to do it.
He didn't answer.
The nominee didn't answer.
No, he laughed, and so there was a pause. He was wondering whether he should do it or otherwise.
Okay.
And in that pause, that was when the chairman came in and said, I'm overruling the question.
Okay. So if people had read the room, they would have then realized that maybe the nominee was asking for help, and that was the help that the chairman came in to offer, right? Because, and here looking at the both sides, you ask yourself, okay, so was he going to stand and demonstrate the dance, right? And, or he was going to describe the dance, right? And I think he had a premonition of what he dancing or demonstrating that dance at the sitting of the appointment committee will do to him and the office is going to occupy.
In fact, it would have been the headline. That would have been the most trending video.
Exactly.
And you know, the minority leader said the chairman was being whimsical or capricious. I really struggle where that came from.
Yeah.
And you see, I've maintained, and I don't think I've said it very much on. I think I've said it on air that the minority leader has a way of. He has a style to what he does.
Yeah.
So if you stand up to him, he will antagonize you. If you let him have his way, he will praise you. So if you are somebody that Afenyo praises, please run. Reassess yourself and look twice and 3 times and check yourself what exactly you are doing. If you stand up to Afenyo, he will label you all sorts, he will call you all sorts and work around to undermine you.
Yeah.
That is what it is.
We've had a course to advise nominees. We are saying not that many. But here's the thing. When you go before the appointments committee, usually with the minority, and I've heard many people talk about score settling, it's always been the case. It's always been the case. Go back and watch the Fifi Kweti interview or vetting, and the back and forth between himself and then Osechi Mesabonsu, the minority leader there. The platform has always been used for score settling. That's political score settling. It's always been. As a nominee, you either pander to the demands of the minority,
or you stand your ground.
Yeah,
and that is
both are strategies.
And that is what Okujetua Blackwell and Sam George did.
Exactly. They didn't pander to the needs of the minority. And somebody will say they pay the price for it. That was I'm coming. So somebody will say they paid the price for it. But I think that was a very negligible price, an inconsequential price. And that's because the minority didn't have the numbers to even push you to a vote by secret ballot.
Eventually they said they would abstain.
Exactly. And so that is that. But then they then copiously debated the report and then argued their cases as to why they were unable to support the approval of the 2 nominees. We have a communications minister, don't we? We have a foreign affairs minister, don't we? And the names that are submitted by the president did not change, right?
Yes.
Now, and there were others. There were the Manama Kufubua who decided to write an apology and then got approved by consensus.
Utterly disappointed.
He's still a minister, right? His badge has not been increased one way or the other. So, strategies. There's one that if you deploy, you get applause from the rank and file of the party and then the party base. That one is there. There's another one that you get that they're saying that you could have done this, that, your party people. That's okay. But then again, see, Afenyo, he has both sides. See, Afenyo cannot be bad throughout.
Oh no, I'm saying that you have to know him.
Exactly.
Know him and know how to. Yes, because you see, in the and that's why I always say that I fault the chairman from the beginning for letting go of his authority.
Yeah.
That one time when his attention was drawn to the minority leader.
Yeah.
I mean, asking questions for long hours, and he said there are no limits. Even if he wants to ask questions for 3 days, he can.
Yeah.
He lost it there.
Yep.
And that is how come a person can look him in the eye and say, I will not withdraw.
Yep.
Even try to pit his head against that of his deputy.
Yeah.
And say that when you were not here, everything was smooth sailing until you came.
Yeah. And that was for effect, right?
Of course.
And I'm sure that some individual has been singing the same song and repeating the same chorus on social media. And I, of course, saw commendations towards George Koku Ekitegan when he was presiding, even before the chairman left. And like you said, that was because the chairman had a lot of flack from the beginning. There were many people who took him on for the wrong and then for the right reasons, right? But many people do not know probably that chairing the appointment committee is by default because you are the first deputy speaker. So there's no way Bernard Ahiafo could be changed as the chairman of the appointment committee without him first losing his position as the first deputy speaker, right? And so people should internalize that fact.
Yes, and you know, he going on and on about Ricketts should have been chairman. Ricketts should. I'm like, go and change the people in parliament. Go. Because it comes as an added responsibility of a first deputy speaker. So go to parliament and say that I want to replace Ricketts. I want to replace what's his name? Bernard Ahiafo with Ricketts Hagan.
Yes,
but you see,
you want to be a lawyer.
Yes, and the point is that the more and more people like that keep saying that, it chips away the chairman's authority, his weight and stuff like that. And so I think we have moved past a certain stage. I thought we hit the crescendo when that fight happened. I thought we hit it. And maybe after that things would move on. But clearly it looks like we may have another fight again. Especially between the minority leader and the chief whip of the majority.
Yes, that's indefinable. So these are the interesting parts of the appointment committee settings, to be honest with you, right? The SSS could be done away with, but again, we're here talking about the process, aren't we? This is the deputy minister. He said, don't make headlines, so it's okay. It's either somebody is not being serious because he's an actor, or another person to dance. Agbi.
He says because
I mean that we are dealing with me like this, but was I at the vetting?
I say Agbi, and I'm saying it's Agbi, not Agbi.
Okay. Maybe if you had said Agbi,
Masa.
It's Agbi. But have you been able to find how that dance goes?
I don't know. It doesn't add to my price.
I think somebody should draw the movement and send to us.
You know, especially coming on the back of questions like, are you stingy? And then, are you stingy and which one again? Oh, yesterday we talked about them. Are you stingy and something
I think they also talked about the controversial email.
Who has a controversial email?
Danny, that's what I cited.
Yeah. I mean, the memo? The shredding? Yeah. I mean, did they deal with that issue?
Yeah, it came up.
Oh, okay. All right. But yes, I mean, coming on the back of are stingy and all those things, if you ask somebody, because people are like, and if you would notice, it's just a few people that are speaking like the way Franklin Kujo is speaking. Most people are actually on the side of the chairman this time around, which he hasn't enjoyed throughout this vetting. But this time around, this time around, most people, like not everybody, most people see reason in his action. And you know, especially when, look, if he has started with his shouting match and say, honorable member, I overruled this question, I wouldn't have, I'll say, boot for boot. If you raise your tone at me, prepare that I may not raise my tone at you, but my body language will tell you that I'm not happy with you. So if he had raised his voice and Afenyo responded in this manner, I would not have any issue with it, because if you yell at me, know that you have lost it for me.
That's true.
But he spoke very calmly. He said, honorable member, I am overruling this question. You will not dance. And you say it is whimsical and capricious. Really?
Okay. So, like I said, I feel this reaction is probably because this was supposed to be light, right? I would have wished that, and I agree with Aisha, I would have wished that the nominee, through the microphone, not through his gestures, through the microphone, had said, I'm sorry.
The nominee, and I have explained, I get that. I explained to you that the nominee laughed, and it's like he was taken aback.
I get you.
So he laughed, and in that moment of laughter, the chairman said, I overruled the question. So in overruling the question, did you still expect an answer?
No. You are not getting me. I was talking about the chairman probably haven't to hear from the nominee. And he does that sometimes. He does that before he comes in. And they do that. They do that for effect. That, okay, and he will make a comment. I don't think this is appropriate, but let me hear from the nominee. Right, he does that. And if you monitor, he does that. And then we take the burden from you.
In this situation, he didn't say, I don't think. He was emphatic. He says, I am overruling the
That's the point I'm making.
which is entitled to.
No, obviously. But I'm saying that sometimes, sometimes the tools we deploy in escalating things.
In the lights, and they are making a mockery of the vetting. I beg you. Let's find out what the dailies are reporting this morning. Hopefully there will be no more dancing at the vetting.
But we'll be running today in Parliament.
And focusing on the minor issues.
But it
says ACPI.
ACPI. So we're both wrong.
ACPI. So you said ACPI. I was even closer. I said ACPI because that's what I thought I heard. You said ACPI. ACPI is somebody's name.
Closer is not there.
Bro, stop it.
Closer is not there. So, that's not what I sent it to me. The dance.
I know it is,
David.
oh, dear God. I struggle to mention it.
David. So let me send it to Aisha. So that's the ACPI.
That's ACPI. And that's so now, go, everybody's on YouTube. Go and check it out.
Yeah.
You want an attorney general to come and be dancing ACPI for you. If you are looking for ACPI to dance, go and look for it on YouTube.
Okay, so he needed Budia. You know Budia?
Eh?
You know Budia?
What? The minority that was saying that it's not just about constitutional issues, it's about our culture. You that is there. We should go and polish it.
But there's another video. I'm coming. There's another video of him dancing, and people ask me whether that's ACPI. That's not clear. Okay.
You should go and polish the airway and come back and let's have that conversation.
But he was candid about it.
Of course.
As to how he was. Yeah.
So you should polish it and come back.
Anyway, so Sulemana, you see, had a film day afterwards, and then you see Jaja to had a film day afterwards because they were vetted by only the majority side, right? And consequently, the minority says it's not approving the nomination of Alhassan Suhini, who had nothing to do with this, and then also Srimsai, whose ACPI question brought us here.
They should go and Google it. Everything is on this one. Did they not come and play video recording sentence on at the vetting? You should Google it and check the dance out.
You don't want it
someone you want. That's why at the end of the day when it's done, they say what's his name? Oh, what they are in? I tell you, a deputy AG designate.
Yes.
Dances at vetting. That is all. To be training all over. And then the substance of the issue. Very brilliant chap for that matter.
His people will be very happy that they've seen him.
Harvard, Cardiff, everywhere. Like he's a lecturer at the University of Ghana School of Law.
Yeah.
You want our lecturer to come and be dancing at vetting. Hey, it's different if you're going for a funeral and they are doing this one. They are playing and say Olupa dance. That's different. That's how she went. They come and do ACPI for them. What's that?
For them, yeah. Anyway, it is what it is.
So you know, when you are looking for, I think that. So now what happens at the vetting is that they feel like they have you. They have you in their palm, like. Without us, you will not sail through.
As you are at your weakest end.
Yes. Yeah. So you have to pander to them. Hey. Maybe cry. Anyway, let's find out what the papers are reporting this morning. If I say I'll follow this pool. He didn't know the dance. That's why he wanted the guy to dance. He should have also stuck. He should have stuck to the Bobo.
Yeah, that was. It's if it's about them, you have just sat there and done this. That's it.
It's a different type of.
But I feel needed to stand. You can't do ACPI setting.
So Honorable should Google it. It's not a problem.
You can send the video from David to him.
Look at this Akpi dance. You want our agent to be You know, it's small people. It's not even, you people think that all the people in the Volta region dance the Agbaja dance. No. Yeah. This one is a war dance.
It's more. If you send it to you, can you load it and play it?
It's more of.
Okay, let me send it.
It's more of the leg movement.
Yeah.
Hey, now Ejiafena suit.
No, you have to change the footwear.
Charlie, Mr. Yafo, God bless you for overruling that question. You are the man of the moment. So and making it the last question of the minority leader, because Charlie, yesterday,
he had many other questions.
Yes. He said they made it the last for him. I thought the chairman said some time back that he can ask question for 3 days. But yesterday he said, to prove to you that I'm the chairman, that may be
leader.
Leader. Hey!
It's not easy.
It's not easy. It's not easy to be in parliament.
It is what it is.
It's not easy to be in parliament at all. Anyway, let's find out what the papers are reporting this morning. The Daily Graphic newspaper, front page. Government rallies MPs for Galamsey fight. He has an image of the Vice President, Madam Vice President, Professor Nana Jane Opoku-Agyeman. Also tonight's presidential business dinner postponed. And remove COVID-19 levy VAT on transit cargo. Acting GPHA boss.
Yeah, COVID-19 levy is supposed to go.
Oh, okay. Stay away from Galamsey, Speaker warns MPs. And then Renault Motors partners Chinese company to promote electric vehicles, and borders must pay boarding fees. That is from the education from stakeholders. Okay, so I'm done with the Daily Graphic newspaper.
Okay, Daily Guide this morning. Mahama delivers Sona today. Minority rejects Deputy AG nominee. Don't sentence Akotia MP. Supreme Court orders High Court. And Dami warns that Femepo over false claims. An anti-LGBTQ plus case. Supreme Court strikes out review. So the conflict account comes. I'm sure you ask him. Richard Sky is saying he withdrew the application. And once you withdraw, it will be stricken out, right? But there are many reports that I see. I don't see that withdrawal. I see Supreme Court striking it out. So when Mutala comes, I'm sure he will explain further. So that's it for the Daily Guide this morning. Okay, so let me give you the new proceeding guide. Godfrey Dami sweats Dafia Mepo over alleged military escort. Okay, so maybe the number, but we saw one. Dami. We saw one. Oh, you didn't see the very famous picture of the
his term of office?
Yeah, the
after?
His
term of office, we saw that. He said it's not true that the military was
there. He mentioned about 50, so maybe that's what he meant. Yeah. But for the fact that he had military protection, yesterday there was an IPAC meeting. I asked Obed King Agulu, he says, okay, there was one military man who followed Jim Mensah.
Okay.
Yeah, so I think that's about 7 less. Yeah.
Lord.
DFA paid, so Division 1 club's bus saga. DFA paid over 5 million Ghana cedis for 9 scrap buses. Yeah, the Division 1 club buses saga. DFA paid 5,175,000 Ghana cedis for 9 scrap.
Why would you? I don't know.
The second hand.
Yeah, you know, if you are getting buses of that nature for the people, maybe you should have. Maybe they should have said that we would support the club. So if it's going to cost 5,000 CGs, for instance, you tell them that okay, we'll support you with 3,000.
Yeah.
Do you understand? Yeah. So that they would raise the two. Then they get a very good bus that will last them a long time, rather than resorting to these ones.
Do higher purchase. You pay in installments gradually.
I don't know. It could have been. I think they could have better handled it.
Yeah. The other headlines here. VGIL lawyers write to the new proceeding guide. And EC holds first IPAC meeting after December general elections, and danger looms over commodity smuggling. ACCP raised alarm. Ghana Immigration Service Controller General proceeds on leave ahead of retirement. So one is gone. That's the foreign proceeding, guy.
All right, the Daily Post newspaper front page: plot to disrupt Mahama's State of the Nation address today uncovered. We will reverse BOG's negative equity. That's according to the governor, Dr. Johnson Isiama. Also, U.S. ambassador pays courtesy call on defense minister, vows to continue strong security partnership. That's it for the Daily Post newspaper.
Ghanaian Times this morning.
Okay.
At confab on proper small-scale mining must not be destructive. VIP assets. Ghana records 44.7 billion Ghana cedis trade surplus in 2024, and over 40% health professionals in Ghana unemployed. That's according to the research. Over 40% of health professionals in Ghana are unemployed. Yes. And don't militarize efforts to stop galamsey. Dr. Kweku cautions. That's it for Ghanaian Times.
All right, GPHA, okay, this is a Daybreak newspaper. GPHA wants levies on transit goods removed. Also, Ghana Link refutes claims at Tema ports. Also here, leave General Avorogo alone. Immigration chief seeks leave prior to retirement. And that's it for the Daybreak newspaper.
Okay, so, give us the rest.
All right, so let's bring you, have you done a daily graphic or a daily guide already?
Yes, I did the guide.
Okay, so let's bring you the business analyst front page. Eastern region, gold board technical committee engages small scale miners and gold dealers. Mahama appoints new Bank of Ghana governor. Mahama appoints new BOG board. Isaac Adongo grabs spot. Cocoa arrivals up by 70% due to smuggling crackdown. BOG to resume policy rate easing in Q2, and high cost of funds to persist due to high interest rate environment. It's attributed to Deloitte. That's it for the Daily Analysts.
Okay, let me give you the chronicle. Professor Nana Jane beckons MPs to join Galamsey fight, and post-election revelations, voters preferred Educhum to Napo, says KNUSA research report. And financing infrastructure, PPP is the way to go. Kujo Nkrumah. Supreme Court stays sentencing of NS Kumi in contempt case. Quotation for this morning, Galatians 6:7. Do not be deceived. God is not mocked. For whatever one sows, that will he also reap. So says the Lord.
Also here, the Daily Searchlight newspaper, ahead of budget reading, deal with nuisance taxes. Guta says, President to deliver maiden Sona today, and minority NPP rejects nomination of Deputy Attorney General, Justice from Sai, and others vetted on Wednesday. Appenio marking is who this is attributed to. Employees of Vivo Energy Ghana.
Vivo, yeah.
Okay, so no, it's not. I know Vivo, but it's just a sentence. Employees of Vivo Energy Ghana, employees, spend time with women at chosen rehabilitation centers. Okay, so you just
Ghana employees.
have been just yes, because they're employees of Vivo Ghana employees. So that's it for the Daily Searchlight.
The final one I'll do here will be BNFT. Nearly 16% of forest reserves completely destroyed. That's according to the Lands Minister. He says 44 forest reserves are under siege by Galamseyers. 9 of those, given the weapons that these Galamseyers are wielding, forestry commission officials are unable to access those forest reserves. So we have actually surrendered 9 forest reserves to these woodlands, and they are mining like there's no tomorrow. Prince Khan chairs Republic Bank Board, and restructure gold oil ownership to strengthen city. IFS urges government, and Ghana Link refutes claims of non-operational way bridges at Tema Port. Yesterday, 2 days ago, the 2 sector ministers, transport and then roads and highways, paid a surprise visit to the Tema Port, and it emerged that the way bridges at Temaport. Okay, let's educate listeners. So there's a limit to the weight that a truck or a vehicle will carry. Now you wonder what is the business of government or the state in how much weight a vehicle carries. If government doesn't own the vehicle. Okay, so here's the thing. It destroys your road, as Nadi said. There is a quantum of weight that at every point in time should be traveling on the road that has been constructed. If that weight is too much, the longevity of the road is affected, the quality of the road is affected, the lifespan of the road is affected. And so there is a weight bridge at the port that is supposed to ensure that the trucks carry exactly the weight that it ought to carry. Many times these weight bridges that the country has spent money to put up are not used, and that's the concern of the rules minister. He set up a committee, a 5-member committee actually, to review the activities of these way bridges and the operations of those manning it. And so that's the story. That's it for the BNFT.
All right, other stories here. The Supreme newspaper. What's the name? Okay, so Gabriel Tanko Kwamega hosts high-level British Council reps. Okay, as Ghana prepares to host 5th UK Study Alumni Awards. Okay, other stories here. Beatrice Foa Santoa Jekum rally support. Okay, this newspaper is very, I don't know. The Hawk newspaper. Let me bring you the Hawk newspaper. Lead report. Is there a report out from the NPP's?
Okay, two reports are out.
Okay.
The NPP commission and internal.
The one headed by
into the 2020 elections.
Okay.
Professor
Okay. Or that one is
2021.
The 2020.
2020.
Okay.
It was kept under wraps.
Okay.
Right. It was never made public. Now it's public. And then Temanun to me.
Okay.
Commissioned one for the Ashanti region.
Okay.
That one is out. That has been leaked. And that's where they talk about religion not being a factor. And they talk about the fact that the economy was a factor. There were many things that they ought to have paid attention to that they didn't. But interestingly, many of the things that have been cited as the reasons for their defeat today had been flagged in 2020 in the report that was commissioned. But Chairman's argument is that after 2020, the report was not implemented.
Okay.
So the same factors came back to bite the party. Yeah, so basically that's it.
Because it's more like a reunited conversation about. So I thought they were done.
No. In fact, as of yesterday, the committee is in the Abuakwa North constituency.
So they are going from constituency to constituency.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So lead report: corruption dug NPP's grave, and Mahama yanks the cord on BOG's money press. What is that? Okay. And this story is so unfortunate. The Queen Mother who was shot in Nungua. So Queen Mother shot dead at her installment. So what was it? A deliberate thing, or it was so-called gunpowder? I don't think it looks deliberate.
The police have stepped in and they are treating this as a criminal case. So the suspect was remanded.
So did they say it is gunpowder?
Yeah, they said it was musketry, as you mentioned, right? That it's a loaded gun, all right, but they say that it was discharged accidentally. You know, they do that, they fire those things,
Because it hit her from the back.
Yeah.
And you see our emergency response once again. It was so, you know what? And like everybody was around it, even the police were confused.
Yeah.
Because that is a crime scene.
Yeah.
Ideally, the way everybody was around, immediately it happened, the police would have asked people to step away immediately.
Yeah.
But people were touching her and everything. Oh, they carried her. Oh Lord. It was it's so painful to watch.
Very.
I mean, sometimes you wonder how all these things happen. Asantehene crashes Galamsey chief. Have you seen the videos?
Yeah, I've seen the video. Mine is a old woman for me.
It is a brother. And sorry, that's her brother.
That's her brother.
And she stepped into Admo.
Yeah. That in some entries episode. It's own cemetery. It's own land meant for designated as cemetery. So you can tell that they have. They say that if you advise a family member at home and he doesn't take, you go out and go and advise him. So that's exactly what the woman did. You can tell that they've been advising this child, and he didn't mind them. So when you took first no, this one, Charlie, let me check.
We'll not see some for
Yeah. That's it.
Well, we want the traditional authorities to play a significant role when it comes to the fight against Galamsey. So, other stories here: the New Republic, Mohammed's Sona today, Mohammed's movement, a glimpse of Akufo-Addo Bawumia's rotten legacy to pop up as president expected to speak frankly. BOG boss lays down 6-point master plan. Habib in hot water over Dumelo this. That's it for the New Republic newspaper.
Okay, I'm done. So we carry on.
There's press reporter.
Okay.
First time I'm seeing it. All set for the Independence Day celebration. So where is this report from? Other stories here. Okay, I cannot see it. The New Trust newspaper. Let's embrace political leadership that champions sustainability in all sectors. That's Napo. He's urging Africans, and I think a more refined Napo is now up.
Oh yes,
yes, and it's good. I hope he keeps it up.
It's a sight to behold.
Yes, I really do hope he keeps it. Maybe sometimes election fever can bring some things. Or
and the pressure.
The pressure.
The pressure and how intense the competition in even being the running mate was, and how others will be doing small. I know it's
you don't know how it's doing somebody. Maybe he misread the room.
So you didn't validate the
No. The whole call about they needing to whip up the base in the Ashanti region, and so people maybe he read that Charlie. I have to hit some areas that would get the base excited, and in that he went overboard sometimes. So but I mean, he was looking so refined, and his glasses, his suits, and everything very good. You should keep it up.
And he was in Kenya, so he was in Kenya to deliver this message. It's a very special message.
Very special message. But it's only on the trust so far. Maybe tomorrow it will be on more papers.
You see, out of sight, out of mind.
Oh no! But
so the media has, I think the information is out front for you. Tomorrow.
This one is just one of the. They usually will have a press team. So
next time when you take us along.
For what?
We'll report. Oh, well, we shouldn't report.
When you are in opposition, you cannot take the entourage, a very big entourage. So if it was streamed, they can rely on those to do the stories. So it shouldn't be a problem at all. Other stories here: government borrows 59.68 billion CDs in 7 weeks from domestic money market. Yesterday, you were explaining the treasury bill to somebody.
Yes.
What was the explanation about?
Okay, so when you talk about treasury bills, that's, in fact, it's always been a tool for government to fund its activities, right? And so you have 6 months duration, you have 1 year, and there are others which are short term instruments, right? And so when this government came, it fell on those tools to raise money to fund governance, let me put it that way. And you determine how much you want when you go to the market, right? Constantly, they have oversubscription and they have said no. So for instance, if you're targeting 8 billion, sometimes you're able to get about 30 billion and they say no. We wanted 8 billion, right?
So let's do that.
You could actually take the 30 billion and celebrate it and say that, you see, it means that you are credit worthy, it's oversubscription. It means that people are very confident. That's the point, right? And so I'm told it's Gideon Back when we put this out, right? That for the few weeks that this government has been in there, that's how much has been borrowed, right? What they are not telling you is to compare to how much was borrowed in the past using the same instrument. But I'm sure the government people will deal with it.
Anyway, other stories. I mean, our politics is filled with how do I call it? Insincerity.
Yeah, that's
So,
it. It's filled with politics.
Yes,
yeah, it's politics.
So both sides,
Yeah.
depending on who is benefiting and who is not.
Yeah.
So it's difficult sometimes to see whether they mean well or otherwise, or whether it's just another campaign.
Yeah.
You know.
And sometimes you actually borrow to pay. So the compounds that
that's what was landing us in trouble.
Yeah.
That we would go to the international market.
Yeah.
We would borrow.
And the commission rates.
Yes. When it's time for us to pay and we do not have the money, we go and borrow again to settle those.
Yes.
Another debt.
Wahala.
So I'm praying for the day Ghana would not be a borrower and rather be a lender.
We need a DOG in Ghana. DOG in Ghana, the one headed by Elon Musk.
There was a cabinet meeting and Donald asked him to speak first. And he was there scolding them about
deficit and that there's trillion deficit, we could not sustain it and then blah blah. So the point I'm making is that maybe we need somebody like that in Ghana, but we see in Ghana people are hiding their money. You know, you need to reach people, the richest person.
But you are.
No. You need to research. So I think we have to enter the executive club, right?
That's true.
Yeah, and then they will pick one and then be in charge of our Ghanaians. So
they will run Ghana like a business.
Yes, exactly.
And then they will send people emails asking them to say what exactly they did this week.
But now there's a ruling from the court that people don't have to respond. First, they said that if you don't respond automatically you are fired.
Oh God.
Now there's a ruling that no, you don't have to. It's not mandatory for you to respond to emails from Elon Musk, and that you keep your job. But as a lot, many people have become resigned. And that's the country with some principles, right? You
know, I mean, over there too, yes, but you see, our level of thinking is different.
Yeah.
So I don't think many people in this country do things based on principle.
Yeah.
That, okay, I stood against this then.
Yeah.
I will stand against it now.
Yeah.
It is happening.
Yeah.
Or I do not like this person's approach.
Yeah.
I do not believe that this person's approach is leading the country to in the direction we think is good. So I would opt out of public service.
Yeah.
You will not do that.
It's true.
Because you are thinking of the next bread. Where the next bread is going to come from.
Yeah.
All right. I think we should. It's okay with the online papers. Let's find out what the portals are reporting. We'll start off with starrfm.com.gh. All right. So, our very own Julius Anadem will be laid to rest on Saturday.
Yeah.
Match 1. Right?
Yeah.
And so there's a story here attributed to him. No, in his honor, in his by Ivan Heathcote Fumador.
Yeah.
I mean, if you know Ivan, you know how much Caesar does mean to him.
That's true.
And I'll just read a little bit of it.
Yeah.
It says here that, like scenes flashing past the windshield of a speeding car, like a spark of vapor swept away by the wind's powerful currents, like a drop of dust falling into the ocean, leaving no trace, with no chance to catch a breath or utter a word. Death swooped in unexpectedly, striking from my blind side, taking a ruthless shot at the steadfast guardian who stood tall behind me. It happened too fast, so sudden, so unexpected, so cruel and so heartless. With no room to maneuver, no strength to scream for rescue, completely overwhelmed by this merciless grip, this ominous sprint with unpardonable separation. Our spirited encounters, enduring adventures, hearty memories, and elaborate plans now lie in ruins of despair. Caesar was the anchor that allowed me to take adventurous dives, secure in the knowledge that even if things took a dramatic turn, I could hook and winch back to safety. Okay, that is all I can do.
Yeah, it's sad. It's sad. And if as you mentioned, if you know, as we know, the relationship that existed between Caesar.
Yes, I've been in Kumasi a couple of times. I listened to him in all of those moments. And when you know Ivan, like you have mentioned, it's very really difficult to take that such a personality, such a person that you can actually lean on is no more. And the circumstances in which it happened, it's rather much more even painful than anything else.
It is what it is. Okay, so you need other headlines, right?
Kindly continue.
Okay, so let me give you a situation. Seven private surge again as retailer site in Port Coast, and Muhammad to deliver his information address today. TUC outlines key expectations ahead of Muhammad's address. KNUSC Food Research Scientists find harmful banned substances in some tomato paste. Babin probes MP over Galamsey allegations. Afenimaken's Don's request was to help Ghanaians move from side. That's according to John Dako. Afenimaken used unparliamentary words on Ahiafo majority, and majority recommends approval of stream silence to Hini two others, and terminating wrongly appointed workers is necessary. Yusuf Sulemana will flash out illegal miners from our water bodies. Sulemana Yusuf, and finally, minority rejects stream size to Hini nominations, boycotting, vetting.
All right.
So,
other stories on Starr from
we'll head to Parliament and bring you the State of the Nation address.
Okay, so other stories on starfm.com.gh. Julius Caesar Nadem, a man with so much to learn from. Also, Enes Kumi is a convict. That's according to a lawyer. And IFS raises red flag over linkage between BOG's gold purchase and rising liquidity. And if police have been served, Enes Kumi should be arrested. Also here, court remands suspect in fatal shooting during installment ceremony at Nungwa, and contempt case Supreme Court blocks Akwitia MP sentencing. Let me quickly bring that story in relation to the Nungwa shooting. It says that the district court has on Wednesday, 26th February, remanded into police custody the suspect, Samuel Ajay, in connection with the fatal shooting incident that occurred during an installment ceremony at Nungwa in the Greater Accra region. In a statement, the police explained that the suspect was arraigned on the charge of murder. So preliminary investigations have indicated that during the installment ceremony, the suspect allegedly discharged live ammunition from a single barrel gun, striking the deceased, Naboli Ahmed, in the right thigh. She was shot in the thigh. She was rushed to the hospital for medical attention but died while receiving treatment. Unfortunately. And that'll be it for starfm.com.gh. And final story, fire rips through wooden shops at Kasi. That's it. We'll go for a break. When we return, we'll bring you Court Today and Legal Check with Mutala Inusa. He's here. We'll bring you that shortly.
Let's have breakfast on the Morning Star.